So one of the biggest power leaks that I see most commonly in the average golfer is allowing the left arm to kind of collapse as the swing approaches the top. So it would look something like this. In their effort to swing the club back further, get it to parallel, the arm looks like this and we've lost all our width. So right after this, let's talk a little bit about the implications of a habit like this and how we can improve on it, get out of it, and get some more width in the swing. So stay tuned. Hey, this is Steve and welcome back to the channel. As you know, I'm on a journey to hit it longer and straighter down the fairway, but be longer and straighter all the way from tee to green, because that's just what makes golf more fun. So if you want to have a little bit more fun with your game in the coming year and hit it a little longer and straighter, then by all means, join us. Hit the subscribe button, like this video at the end if you liked it, leave a comment down below. And don't forget to visit my site, hititlonger.com, where you're going to get over 100 videos and articles that I think are really going to help you with your golf game. All right, so the left arm collapse generally comes from the golfer's inability to turn the shoulders properly or far enough, usually from some lack of flexibility. But in some cases, the golfer has the flexibility and is just simply not winding the shoulders or turning the torso far enough to maintain the width that they started with at address. So collapsing the left arm, collapsing the arc might look something like this. You might be in good shape when you get to the halfway point, and then see, my shoulders haven't turned 90 degrees yet. They've turned maybe 60 or 70 to get to here, and maybe this is all I've got. And so to get to the top from here, it's going to look something like this. And you see notably here, my left upper arm segment is only at about 9 o'clock from your perspective. I've got about a 45-degree break at the elbow. And the highlight also here is there's only about 3 inches of space from the club shaft off my rear shoulder here. So while it looks like I'm in a parallel position and it maybe feels like I'm going to get some power out of that, I really haven't displaced the handle of the club very far from its initial starting position. So if I'm just here, and you're going to measure in either linear feet or even circularly here, and how far the handle has been moved and how far it has to return back again, you'll see that it's not the biggest distance that we can generate. Therefore, even though the swing looks like it's fairly long, we're actually leaving a lot of club head speed on the table. All right, so now that we've defined the left arm collapse and the implications it's going to have if in your shots, if you make this type of move at the top of the swing, let's talk about how we're going to improve on it and get you longer, wider, hitting farther down the fairway this coming season. So let me give you one really simple exercise that's going to maybe give you a feel for swinging wider as you go back. And I do that like this. I'm going to hold the club in my belly button with my left hand up at the top of the grip. And then I'm going to bow and I'm going to reach down as far as I can go with my left arm down the shaft like this. Okay, now what I'm going to do is make the biggest turn that I can here. And I'm going to freeze here, leave my left arm where it is, and then put the club in it right there. Now you see that this is awfully wide, and I've made nearly a 90-degree shoulder turn, and the club is just a little bit over halfway up. So I've done a lot of turning early and really established that wide position going back. So let me do that just one more time. It's belly button, right arm near the top of the grip, reach down and stretch the left arm, which brings the shoulder kind of into it. Turn as far as I can and put the club back in and just hold that for a second. I think the first thing you'll notice there is how far your left shoulder has come under your chin so early in the backswing with the club only maybe at 5/8, and I'm coming up already on a 90-degree shoulder turn. So that will really provide some impetus getting the top a lot wider. Now, while there are a few training aids on the market that can help get you stretched out and help you work on your flexibility and your width in your backswing, I find that the best one is the one I invented that I've given to all my students, and it really, really works. It's called the POWER COIL PRO. I want you to watch. I've just attached it to itself around a pole, and I'm just going to walk it out to about 4 or 5 big steps away from this pole over here. And then I'm just going to hoist it into position like this. And you can see, I'll hold it for a few seconds, but you'll be able to see I'm going to be making a massive shoulder turn here, probably 110 or 120 degrees. I can get my left arm up to about 12 o'clock nearly, and there's going to be about a foot of width from my right shoulder to the club shaft. So just like this. Now let me just show you a little bonus that we can do with this really cool device. Notice I've moved the clip almost down to the ground here. I call this the John Daly mode. So now when I get it stretched out here, it's going to simulate a really far past parallel backswing like this. Now this device is available on my website. Just go to hititlonger.com, go to the Pro Shop, and you'll find this. Okay, now just because you've gotten this newfound flexibility doesn't mean that it's instantly going to show up in your backswing. After all, this collapse has become kind of a pattern or a habit, you could say. So what I would do next is I would practice a lot at home doing, or at the range warming up without a ball. So always take the distraction of the ball away when you're working on a new feel for the first time. Do lots of repetitions, working on duplicating the same backswing feel I had on the training aid just a minute ago. So that would look something like this. So notice I kind of paused for a second. The tempo was overall slow, but I kind of paused at that magic moment to try to feel the duplication of the same position my body and my arm was in at the top of the swing. So I would do a number of those just to really feel doing it now with a club in my hand and using a dynamic swinging motion rather than just a static position at the top. Now, of course, you won't necessarily hit any of these shots good, and that's not even the point. The point is to have a ball in the way and intend to hit it. In the meantime, you're consciously changing this habit. It can be really hard if you put your focus on the ball or impact or the shot that you're trying to hit, or even a target. The worst thing you could do is have a target. The target is the entire field whenever you're trying to change a habit. So all I was trying to do there is fixate on getting to this big wide position that I was feeling in the other exercises. And if you're over 50 like I am now, I also really strongly suggest that you work on something like this regularly, because as we get older, our swings tend to get shorter. So we really got to work to combat that so we can just maintain a nice big shoulder turn with lots of width. So hey, thanks again for watching my channel. I really appreciate you helping it grow. Thanks to Golf Development Complex in Moorpark, California for providing us with the beautiful scenery and hosting us today. And as always, I'll either see you in the next video or I'll see you longer and straighter down the fairway. Take good care.